Hello, everyone. I am so excited. I just had to absolutely share this with you. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I have been gone all day. It is now 2:19. I've been gone since 9 o'clock this morning, running around like a mad woman. So I'm not really totally prepared to do this. This is so off the cuff, but bear with me, okay? Because this is really what it's all about for me. I am so excited. Let's go way, way back. Several years ago, my friend Janice Alzheimer, who is a wonderful author, and I were in Winter Park, Florida. We were on what is commonly known as Park Ave, which is Park Avenue. It's a wonderful, I can't even begin to describe Park Avenue. There are shops and restaurants and all kinds of fun things on one side of the road, and on the other side of the road is the park. And great things happen there, like the Park Arts or Festival of the Arts, something like that. I don't know. Can you tell I'm a little excited? I'm very excited. So Janice and I were there many years ago. We were having lunch together. There's a museum there, and it's the Tiffany Museum. So we had gone through the museum. And when we came out, the bells were ringing across the street from a Catholic church that is over there. And Janice knew the history and the architecture of this church. She asked me if I knew it. I said, no, I didn't. And so she said, oh, let's go inside. So we did. And we're sitting on the second row in the sanctuary. It's just the two of us. We're talking in very whispered tones. She is telling me the history of the church, the architecture of the church, etc. And this gentleman walked in. I say gentleman, I'm going to use that term loosely because I don't really know who he is or who he was, but he came in. He sat probably 6 rows behind us, and we continued to kind of whisper to each other. We were just about ready to leave, and all of a sudden he says, "No talking in the synagogue." And Janice and I kind of looked at each other like, okay, we didn't know we were in a synagogue. We were not in a synagogue. We were in a Catholic church. But we just got up and walked outside. And then once we got outside, we kind of dissolved into fits of laughter. So I said to her, "Oh, that would make a cute children's story." She said, "What's that?" We're both writers and understand that. Some of my greatest ideas have come while like having lunch with Janice, or going to the beach with Janice, or going to Cedar Key with Janice. She and I used to do things like that all the time together. I said, I like a children's book about maybe like two little church mice, and they end up in the synagogue. And this is a way for them to find out, like, our Jewish roots. Now, if you know me, you know that I have a great love for Israel. I have a great love for what we call the Old Testament. I've been studying it for years. It was the predominance of my studies when I was in school. When I was in seminary, I went to the Zamach Institute that's here in Castleberry, or in Castleberry. I don't live in Castleberry, which was a great 2-year course that I took, study course of how the Jewish roots, intertwine with us, that our Christian faith is rooted in Judaism, and just kind of how the Bible, as we know it, wraps around each other. The two parts of the testaments just wrap around each other. So this is like really important to me. But I've got a children's book out, but that does not make me a children's book writer. Let me stress that, because I wrote Our God is Bigger Than That with Michelle Medlock Adams, who is like the grand dame of Christian children's books. And so I kind of rode on her coattails with that. So I was not a children's book writer at all in those days. And I didn't know what to do with this idea. And I kind of forgot about it. Then a few years back, I was at a writers' conference, and Dreama Archibald sat with me. She and her daughter sat with me, and she just made this very general comment. She said, I am a children's book writer, and I'm trying to come up with a way to teach Christian children about our Jewish roots. Well, guess what I remembered? So I said, Dreama, I had an idea several years ago, and I'm not going to do anything with it because I'm not a children's book writer. This was before Michelle and I I kind of came up with the idea for Our God is Bigger Than That. And so I gave her this idea. Sometime later, she said to me, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Take it. I'm not going to do anything with it." And I'm so glad this happened. And so sometime later, she sent me a poem that she had written as the children's book for the children's book itself. But she didn't have a publisher yet. In time, she got a publisher. And today, when I came home from all the things that I had to do today, this was at my doorstep. I hope you can see it. It says Mouse Malachi Celebrates the Sabbath, and it's by my friend Dreama Archibald. And it is so stinking cute. It is so cute. Let me show you just like on the inside. I want to show you a couple of the cute pictures. So anyway, there is Mouse Malachi right there. And guess who this is? It's Mouse Eva. I love it. It's all about everybody. Okay, first of all, if you love children's books, get this book for your kids, your grandkids, the kids down the street. I don't care. This is so cute. I just got through reading it and it's wonderful. It is such a wonderful way to teach children about Shabbat, about the Sabbath, and what our Jewish brothers and sisters do on the Sabbath, how they celebrate the Sabbath. I mean, there are things about, you know, their meal and going to synagogue and having oneg and just the whole thing. It's wonderful. She talks about the talit and the lacy shawl for the women and the challah bread, and it's wonderful. Okay, if you are hoping to teach someone just the basics of Judaism and how our faiths are interconnected, this is just book one. I have already read the Mouse Malachi Discovers Hanukkah. And so, of course, you know when that's going to be coming out. They'll be coming out later on this year, but Dreama is going to go over all the festivals. Mouse Malachi and Mouse Eva are going to learn about all the festivals. And this is book one. I am so excited about this. And I had to shout it from the rooftops, or, you know, put it on Facebook and all the other places that it's going to go before the day is over. Thank you for sharing my excitement with me. Dreama, excellent, excellent work. So proud of you. And, you know, In-Game Press, you did a beautiful job with this, as we all knew that you would. In-Game also published Our God is Bigger Than That. And speaking of Our God is Bigger Than That, let me just reach over real quick. I got an award today. This is, oh, isn't it beautiful? It is so perfect. It fits on my desk just perfectly. And this is for the Christian Indie Awards. And it says 2023 winner, Michelle Medlock Adams and Eva Marie Everson. Our God is Bigger Than That. First place, Children's Picture Books, In-Game Press. So, okay. All right. Done with that. Back to this. Get this for your kids, your grandkids. Teach them that our beautiful faith, Christianity, is rooted in the most beautiful faith, and it's just so gorgeous, and I would want everybody to know, and especially as a Christian, we believe Jesus fulfilled all of these festivals up to a point, and he will continue to fulfill them in the future. If you're not Christian and you're like, I don't know about that, it's okay. It's okay. This is still a great book. You don't have to be a Christian to read it. But boy, is this a wonderful way to blend our faiths. And as a final thing, I just want to say thank you to Miriam Feinberg Vamosh, my Jewish friend who lives in Israel, who I wrote the book, Reflections of God's Holy Land, A Personal Journey Through Israel with. And our book is coming out later on, in the beginning of next year, Hoti, which is the story of Tamar. And this is a novel, and this is the story of Tamar, David's daughter, Absalom's sister. Miriam, thank you for loving me, and thank you that our friendship has lasted for 20 years now. It's amazing. Again, this is so important to me, as you can probably tell. Dreama, congratulations. In-Game Press, congratulations. I'm going to shut up now and get to work. Bye for now. Or we will say this, shalom, shalom.